Today, I would like to talk about presence. Presence is very important. People who succeed in life are fully present and their presence is palpable. This kind of presence mostly comes through nonverbal ways such as voice quality, gestures, and facial expressions, and many more. Qualities such as confidence, comfort, enthusiasm, and passion also play a big part in it. These traits especially can decide, for example, who gets funding from investors or whether a person gets called back for another interview. We have presence when we believe in our own stories, otherwise, we will come across as inauthentic. Another important part about it is that it cannot be faked. If we try, people can usually tell that something is off. On the other hand, when you are present, people will pretty much always respond. But what exactly is presence? Presence can mean something different to everyone. For Amy Cuddy, author of the book Presence, Bringing Your Boldest Self to Your Biggest Challenge, it means comfortably being able to express your own true thoughts, feelings, values, and potential. It comes and goes and is a moment-to-moment phenomenon. Presence emerges when we feel powerful. When we feel powerful, we can maintain it even when we are in a very stressful situation that distracts us and might even make us feel powerless. In those moments of presence, our speech, facial expressions, movements, and postures synchronize, focus, and align, and we are being ourselves. To achieve this presence, we need to nudge and tweak ourselves and our body language a little bit and treat our everyday life situations where we might even feel uncomfortable or anxious as moments. After those moments, we can start over again and gain presence because it is not all or nothing. Let's talk about ourself and the authentic self next. What is the self? The self is multifaceted, expressed and reflected through thoughts, feelings, values, and behaviors, and dynamic and flexible. It is not rigid and static. The self responds and reflects to situations in a way that makes us respond and grow. The authentic self is a state and experience. When we are our authentic self, we have a sense of being our real true self, and we are aligning with it. We are feeling and knowing that we are being our most sincere and courageous self. And we are showing it with our values and with our actions. But how do we identify the best parts of ourselves? We can ask ourselves these questions. What 3 words best describe you as an individual? What is unique about you that leads to your happiest times and your best performances? Reflect on a specific time at work or at home when you were acting in a way that felt natural and right. How can you repeat that behavior today? And what are your signature strengths? And how can you use them? In order to represent your best self, you need to believe in the answers you gave in those questions. Because they tell a part of your story, and no one will believe in it if you don't believe in it. Threats to this story can be challenges in our lives. And in order to reduce the anxiety we feel in those challenging moments, we can reaffirm parts of our authentic self, which also help us practice owning and clarifying our story to ourselves. In order to believe our own story, we need to have full access to our traits, values, and strengths. And we need to know that we can express them through our interactions and our actions. Now I would like to tell you a quick story of how presence has helped me before. Last year, before Corona was a thing, I was all set to go study in New York City for my first semester abroad. And it had always been a dream of mine to live there, so obviously I was very excited and ecstatic to be studying over there. But then, as you all know, COVID-19 spread like wildfire, and life as we knew it just changed. Most people's plans changed, as did mine. My semester abroad in New York City got cancelled, and I was destroyed when I heard the news. I had already booked my flight, and I had almost booked the flat as well, but thankfully for my bank account, I didn't yet. Nevertheless, I was still very bummed out about it, as you can imagine. Thankfully, I had one of my best friends who was present and there for me at the time. She listened to me complain a lot, very patiently, and helped me try to figure out the next steps to take. And thanks to her and her presence, I got out of my funk at the time, and I managed to deal with everything that needed to be dealt with.